Welcome to Tom Ginn's virtual meeting.
Hey, Mark, we are live.
All right.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Ginn and
Mark Gassert.
Elevate Your Profits.
Tremendous.
Why don't we start tonight a little bit about why we do this program and what we're going to talk about tonight. There's a lot of things that people are seeking to improve themselves financially. Unfortunately, a lot of things that people are being promoted are what I would call on the hype side versus the reality side. So tonight we want to talk about some principles I've been employing in my life for the last 40 years that have made me financially independent. Hopefully you'll pick up on some of those ideas. Take the recommendations, not from just what I say or what Mark says, but from those that have greater business acumen than you and I. And we'll cover some of the things in a presentation I got put together tonight. So Mark, I just roll it back to you, my friend, and I'm losing my voice here.
I know. I can hear it. It's good to have Tom back. He was dealing with that infamous gout thing. That's always fun to deal with. I don't know what that's like. Hope I never have to encounter that, as he expressed it to me. You don't want to ever have to deal with it. But I think tonight, what Tom's going to share with us, and those of you that just have one stream of revenue coming in, they say that's the 1980s version of picking up a few coins along the way. So I thought that was interesting. I heard somebody on the radio the other day, financial person, said you're living in the 80s if you're just relying on a job or even a business, if you're not branching out. So it's always interesting to talk about these things. And I'm really looking forward to what Tom's going to share with us. And what he is going to share with us, I will tell you, is not hype. It's hope. And, maybe there's some people out there, Tom, that, an extra, and I say this, $500, man, a month makes a difference. $1,000, if you had that coming in, would that be a significant impact for you? And that's what we're talking about here tonight. It's not the hype.
Yeah. When we look at what's happening in our economy today, the average person's household expenses have gone up $10,000 a year. So that, if you have the average family doesn't have more than $700 discretionary income. So you're running deficit just on the cost of inflation. So what's the solution? Well, there's many different solutions. Some are practical, some are not. Some are doable, some are not. It's a matter of what we're going to talk about. I call the $1 million idea. So, but before we get going, I always want to give credit to our sponsor and the people that allowed us to learn this technique of live streaming. It's made a big difference in the last 3 years in my life, business-wise, personally, all that. So I want to thank Ken Walls and the Grow Life Academy, all the people out there. This has allowed us to build relationships and open doors that would have never been open before without this platform, such
Absolutely.
as our new business partner in Ben Gay. He's our newest associate with the ASEA, which is one of our corporate sponsors. And we'll be talking a little bit about not that company specifically, but the concept that company's built in its marketing distribution. Now you can take advantage of this industry called network marketing or direct sales as a way to increase your income without the risk of other business opportunities that are out there. So this is not hype. It's just really about, hey, let's take off the hat here a little bit. I'll take mine off here. Open our minds. Think about where you're at, where you want to go, what's realistic for you and your family to put the energy and resources necessary to be successful financially. So I'm going to go play a quick little intro to one of our sponsors, ASEA.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we'll roll this out and See if I can get this one to play here. Well, that's us. Well, that's one of our corporate sponsors. This we'll be talking a little more specifically. Thank God I was introduced to this a couple of years ago. Now it'll be 2 years in June. It's made a big difference in my health. And over the last 2.5 weeks with dealing with the gout, the pain relief gel, the Renew 28, allowed me to get through some days I wouldn't have never been able to get through just because the severity of the gout conditions I had.
Right.
Pain in the foot, unbelievable. We saw Patrick Mahomes where he hurt his ankle, seeing him screaming on the bench. That's the way it was for me, just to stand up, to be able to get up and go into the facilities, take care of myself. It was that painful with every step. So you have to, what I was told when I had kidney stones, they said it's the closest thing next to a woman having
giving birth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this gout, I would equate it to the same as a kidney stone in pain threshold, the sharpness and the intensity. So we have to give a lot of respect to women, what they go through. We see athletes hurt and what we go through. We've been hurt ourselves. Maybe if we've played sports, those type of things, that pain and what it takes to get through it. But if I didn't have my ASEA in my regimen, in my protocol of getting through this gout situation, I don't know what I would have done. I definitely would have had to go to the doctor and taken something I hate taking is anything prescribed by the pharmaceutical industry, because the downfalls, in my opinion, are worse sometimes than the immediate fix. So I'm glad I didn't have to go down that route the last 2 weeks. That's sort of one of my missions too with about ASEA, is own your own health. If you understand what causes that condition, take proactive measures to mitigate it or alleviate it. And so that's so important. Gout is something it's based on my body chemistry. I have a high acid content type body, and people like my body makeup are very susceptible to gout. And what we eat determines whether we're going to get it or not. And so if you know that going in, you own your health, you take the proactive actions. If you get it, there's proactive ways to work through it to eliminate the symptoms or the discomfort with it. So here, the full disclaimer, we can't make any medical claims that ASEA cures or any ailment. All we can tell you is that it can't hurt you. It's native to your body. It allows your body to do what it does naturally to heal itself. So with that all said, we'll move on to what we're going to talk about. Mark, your little insight today. We've had a little bit of conversation here in the past and several other live streams about.
Sure.
We got a lot of people out there that have great opportunities, wanting to help people win financially. But some of the things that we hear out there and experience, I plugged into a lot of these different opportunities and whatever. A lot of it is not reality. It doesn't mean it can't be done, but what's your thought today about that concept about looking at opportunities? Filtering out hype, getting to the.
No, I think it's imperative that you look at something that's practical, that it can be done. It's going to take effort. It's no different in sales, but I think you touched on something, the hype. There are a lot of things out there, not a lot, certain things where they make it sound, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. And, I'm sorry, I can't believe that. You gotta provide a service that's viable to the public. And, it's all about you wanting to do something for you and to serve your fellow human being out there. And I think that's what we do with this program, this platform, ASEA, Be Connected. These are all tools of the trade, and in the meantime, you can pick up some extra, as I like to always say, coin along the way. And we touched on it, and I'll say it again. Maybe $500. And for some families, man, that's a big deal. And I'm not making fun of it. You touched on what's happening right now with our economic situation. Is it going to get better? You know, you do your own homework, your own research, and that's what you got to ask yourself. Uh, you're a little bit older than me. You've been through a lot of cycles, and I say that out of respect. Financial cycles that go up, they go down, and it's good to have something that can further assist you, as opposed to there are people right now, Tom, that are being let go from their jobs, and some of these
Absolutely.
people be making six figures and beyond, and
Yeah.
you just never know when that's going to happen. So are you prepared, I guess, is
Yeah.
the
You brought a good point up. I am just a couple of years, just a few years older, but
a
I've
few.
experienced all the things they're running benchmarks against: the 2008 recession and
Right.
financial collapse. I've been through that. Back in the 80s, I experienced the high cost of inflation back then that they're benchmarking again when you had mortgage rates at 12 to 18%. People can't comprehend, think 6% is crazy. Try 18, 19% on mortgages, those type of things. So I've experienced it, lived through it, but the industries are involved in, they taught me one or two things that got me through this and got to me where I am today, where I can say I'm financially free. What I mean by financially free, people misconstrue with that. I have choices and options, and I'm not intimidated by what's going on in the economy because I've set myself up to have those options, have multiple streams of income. When things go bad in one thing, I run parallels. Anything that I'm doing that I have a passion about, I have a parallel that runs with it. So if I can switch lanes without diverging and crossing paths, I think that's critical. Find your love and your passion, the thing that you have a gift and a talent to do, and then find that business that will support that, what I call multiple streams of income or residual income opportunities. And life becomes easeful, not easy, but gives you more options and choices
Right.
than before. So I'm not here to show off airplanes, boats, and houses or anything like that. But I'll say this is that I didn't do it by myself. I have a beautiful wife that really kept the money management even stronger check than my knowledge, teaching people these principles. It's having somebody to be accountable to win financially. So I didn't do it all by myself. I owe most of my success financially to how my wife is been the prudent one on managing the day-to-day operation of our income and expenses and making sure we live within our budget. So I want to give credit where credit's due. So with that all said, Mark, I'm just going to move into our
Go for it.
$1 million idea. I'm going to share the screen here, my friend. Can you see that?
Oh, it looks great.
All right. $1 million idea. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is want you to talk about how to grow your net worth to $1 million. Given the U.S. median household income is roughly $68,000 in 2021, which it's actually down from that now. It'll take roughly 14.7 years for the typical household to earn $1 million gross dollars. I didn't say net worth, assets after less liabilities, is earning that. So if you're in the next 14 years, you're making 68,000 as a family household, it's going to take you 14 years, over 14 years to accumulate gross income of $1 million. What you have, the most important is not what you make, but what you're able to keep. So this is a reality. Yes, the average American family today in their lifetime can make $2 to $3 million in their lifetime in their working career. But the sad fact is that less than 3.5% of the American people have a net worth of over $1 million. There's no reason for it. And I'm going to share some concepts with you that can make you a millionaire, have a $1 million asset in 12 to 24 months, if you're willing to look at the concepts that I'm going to share tonight. Any questions there, Mark?
No, it looks good.
So here, true or false, $2,500 equals 1 million. Mark, what do you say?
Oh, I say absolutely.
People get all hung up on the $1 million side. What's going to take me to have $1 million in dollars? Well, if you in the next 14 years you make $1 million, how much of that you have left over is not. It's going to be far short of that. When 70 to 80% of your net income goes to living expenses and necessities of life, you're not going to have but maybe $200,000 to $300,000 you would have had discretionary income. If you'd done something with that discretionary income, yes, you would have over $1 million if you prudently invested it properly. So tonight, I want you to really just open up your minds here a little bit. Take the lid off what I call the toilet of our being is our mind, and clean out all the things we've been taught. Mark, have you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert?
I have not read it yet, and I need to get this book because I hear so much about it. And shame on me for not. I read a lot of different books, but this is one I have not yet have read. But I hear it's a very good book.
Well, get you to open your mind and look at the reality of how money is made in for ourselves and our economy. So, linear income versus residual income. This is where most people we were just talking about is the E quadrant. Being an employee, you times a job equals your income. That's limited, no matter what you do. Even with overtime, you could only work so many hours, and you're at some point you're going to have limited income. It's linear. So that's where most people are. That's where 80 to 90% of most people reside, is being an employee with a talent or a gift or a trade or something that they can trade those hours for dollars. And depending on your gift, it will determine what you make an hour. That's still linear. That's still limited. The next is being in business for yourself. This is where I'm going to go down here to the second one, self-employed. Okay. Self-employed is basically what you do if you created a job. You're taking your gift or talent and you just take it to the marketplace, and you're billing yourself out the same way you do yourself with an employer. If you fix cars and you're good at fixing cars, you charge $120 an hour for that labor. Again, you've created a job. You haven't created a business. You got to keep the difference between what you do and do it independently. Is it a job or is it a business? How many people love going to jobs every day? Well, if you create your own business that actually just creates a job, at some point you're going to resent it. You're going to say, why did I make this choice? It'd been easier to stay as an employee and let the employer have all the headaches that go along with running that business. So in the second quadrant, B is owning a business. And what this does, it allows you, I'm going to cover something that was shared by Rami El-Batwari here in a moment, is that you times people equals your income. So if you look at what your company that you're at now, how many people do they have working in that company, whether it be in the marketing, the sales, the operational people, the warehouse people, the manufacturing people, how many people are in that business? They are leveraging time to make the owner of the business money or shareholders money. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So what would you rather have? A business or a job? If you can learn to leverage people.
Well, you'd have to go with a business.
Yeah. So it's all about outlets in business. If it's you're the only one in the marketplace, you're limited in income, it's linear. But if you can create a business where you have leverage outlets, people that can share the news, share the product, the service, they're out there doing the work. then you have an opportunity to exponentially grow your business, grow your income. And the bottom quadrant is I can't see it here. My camera's in the way. Investing, your money's working for you. This is where most people have been taught to create passive income. As I'm going to take some money, I'm going to put it away in a mutual fund or a qualified plan, an IRA, or Roth. Anything I'm saying here, I'm not giving tax advice or accounting advice. Check with your financial advisor or accountant to get clarity on what I'm talking about here. But investing is where a lot of people that avenue they go. So if you're making $1 million, it takes you 14 years, and you only have $300,000 left over after that period of time to invest, where do you invest it to get residual income? So these are options to look at. Now you can incorporate, I'd recommend incorporating 3 of the 4, but don't incorporate just your talent as a job. Don't go out and create a job for yourself. You got one you hate already. Why create one that you hate that you created? So you're better off to go and find a different methodology. Would you agree, Mark?
Absolutely. No, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. So what are our options is the next question. So what are our options? I'm just going to bring up some very significant people that we know. What are our options to have $1 million asset created in the next 12 months? Warren Buffett. I love Warren Buffett. I've been studied his principles for years, being a financial guy and a financial coach. A billionaire, one of the world's biggest investors, now invests in network marketing. So we hear a lot of people saying, well, you don't want to get involved in the network marketing. It's a Ponzi scheme or whatever. But when you look at good quality companies that are in network marketing with great product, great delivery systems, great compensation, it makes a lot of sense. He wouldn't invest his money on opportunities that won't make money for a company. So I'll just let you know that when you take somebody's mind like Warren Buffett, he's actually investing in network marketing companies to help them, give them the capital resources to have the economic resources to be effective in the marketplace. So how can we create $1 million asset? Number one is where a lot of people hope and wish they hit the lottery. What's the chances of that, Mark?
Yeah, good luck on the scratch offs, guys.
Yeah, 1 in 300 million, right?
Right.
I don't like my chances. So that's a waste of money. So if you understand some basic principles of money, you'd never do that once you analyze it. So how else do we create $1 million assets? A lot of people are out there promoting invest or buy real estate. I've been very successful over the years being involved in those industries, be able to learn enough that real estate I've parlayed that money upwards to increase my net worth substantially just through real estate. We can go into a franchise. We can start a traditional brick and mortar business. And of course, we're looking at investments. Biggest problem, there's some great investment opportunities out there, but if you haven't got the discretionary income, opportunities bypass you. So you want to have a plan long term to have cash on hand, so when opportunities come up, you can take advantage of them. And I'm going to share you with what millionaires know that you don't know. And then Bill Gates. Can you read what that says on that slide?
If I would be given a chance to start all over again, I would choose network marketing. Bill Gates.
Yeah. Let's think about somebody makes that statement that has built one of the most powerful companies ever created called Microsoft, right? And so he would you say he knows a little bit about business market needs in the market?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Right.
But why would somebody with that sort of knowledge make that statement? I would take that and evaluate it and say that's not a light statement. Here's one of the most powerful business person in the world. If he was starting over again, he'd choose network marketing. And there's a lot of reasons when you study network marketing. I'm going to jump into some of these principles here in a minute. There's Warren Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
Passive income. Earn in various ways, like renting out your home on a home sharing app or selling crafts online. Money earned from an enterprise with little or no ongoing effort involved, but most likely the upfront investment of a passive income stream takes time and money. Residual income. A calculation that determines how much discretionary money is available after financial obligations are met. So you can read that there as well. So let me move on to the next slide. I had the great opportunity and honor to meet Ramy El-Batwary, a billionaire. You got to get his book, Can You Really Think and Grow Rich? But in his mastermind I went to back this last July of this 2022, we had an opportunity to pick his brain, ask questions. And one of the things that people ask is, because he's a business, he creates businesses or buys businesses and makes them bigger and better. So some questions were asked. So first thing, several things to consider when looking at any business opportunity. Ramy El-Batwary. So I would take the advice of a billionaire before I take the advice of somebody just making $30,000 a year. Would you agree, Mark?
Absolutely.
First thing, no matter what you do or what you're looking at, you have to determine, is it a fad? Is this a short-term market trend, or is it a long-term? Can you meet those needs long-term? Next thing you need to ask yourself in that is, are you an innovator or an early adapter? And I got a graph. I'm going to show you that. This is where wealth is made, is understanding what I'm going to share here.
Close it.
Is it scalable? And that goes back to Robert Kiyosaki, one of those quadrants. Is it scalable? Can you scale yourself? Can you duplicate yourself? 90% of the time you cannot in your business. You have to have employees. You have to train and develop them to do what you do. That's not, if you can do that, then you have a scalable business. You can grow and expand your business, increase your revenue, increase your outlets, increase your distribution, whatever you're doing. Is it leverageable? Mark, do you have any questions at this point?
No, I think this is excellent, what you're sharing with everybody here, Tom.
Thank you. Is it leverageable? What do I mean by leverageable? Can you leverage that business against another business to accentuate each other? For example, my wife have a wellness center. We initiated ASEA, and we're leveraging that product into our wellness center, and we're improving both sides of the business, both on the wellness center, and we're leveraged that marketplace into ASEA. So we're leveraging common marketplace with different products. Can I leverage it? And what is your ROI? What is your return on your investment? But I want to get to this graph right here, and I think this is probably one of the most important things when you're looking at any business, even if it's your own thing, whether you're coaching, whether you're a mechanic, a woodworker, you're selling crafts or making crafts and selling them. Is it innovative? What separates you from everybody else that's doing similar things? Are you an early adapter or visionary? Those that are early adapters or they're innovators, they're the ones that capitalize on when we hear somebody becomes a billionaire, they're the innovators. And then those that they share it with recognize the potential of the product, the marketplace, they become early adapters. In any business cycle, this is what you're going to see. No matter what the industry, you're going to have the innovators, Elon Musk and the Tesla, right? We take cell phones. You look back at Motorola, you can look at all these other companies. There were innovators, and they're the ones that started the trend. Then other people started recognizing, gee, this is a great market, great business to be in. Then people start adapting. They're still on the growth side. As you look at the graphic, it goes up. So in any business you're looking at, where would you be? Are you the innovator, or are you following early adapters, following the visionaries with somebody that has a clear market path to do something specific in a very specific industry, whether it be in the nutrition industry, whether it be any sort of industry? Are you in that early phase of getting the marketing information out there? If you are, this is where wealth is built. This is where most people get hung up on: early majority pragmatists. Hey, it's been around 10 years. It looks pretty good. Maybe it's a join it, those type of things. Then they jump on. You're still on an upgrowth phase, but at some point you hit the top of the curve, the bell curve up here. And then a lot of people get into network marketing. We call the late majority, the conservatives. I'll just wait and see. These early majorities, the pragmatists, the late majorities, they're conservative. I'll just wait and see if it's for real. I'll see if Mark Gassert or Tom Guinea has success, and then I will jump in. That is the wrong way to approach any business. You don't wait to see what somebody else's success is. You got to really evaluate, like Ramey says, know the product, know the industry. Is that a fad? What's the long-term upside growth potential? Can you leverage it? And don't be a late majority conservative. I'll jump in after I see Tom Ginn have success. You've missed the boat. And then the laggards, those are the people that never do anything. And unfortunately, that's where 80% of the people are today. They don't do anything to improve themselves financially. So we just talked about no matter what business you're in. So let's talk about what are our options in going into business. Mark, what would you say some of the options people have?
Going into business today?
Yeah. If you say, hey, I want to go into business, what are the options, types of business models would you be looking at?
Well, if you're looking at traditional businesses, depending on what it is, if it's not a virtual or online type business,
traditional brick and mortar.
Yeah, brick and mortar. Yeah, let's just say it's going to be a dry cleaning, institution. You need a building, then you need the equipment, and we're not even really getting started. You got to invest in a lot of things, tools that you'll need to make that thing work, and then
need capital.
Yeah. And then after you get to that, then you get around to hiring people, because you can't do everything by yourself.
No, somebody's got to come in and clean the floors and do everything else necessary to keep that business and a good experience for its customers. You've done your homework. You recognize, hey, the market will support another dry cleaner. Yeah, I can get part of my if I can do a better job than my competitor, bring more value, I can capture part of that market. But you're always going to have, is there enough new market for me to capture as well? So brick and mortar, you usually take, somebody says, hey, there's so you can run downtown in your local business community, and how many businesses need their windows cleaned? Every one of them, right? So you say, I'm going to go start a window cleaning business. What would your capital cost to upstart just a cleaning business? You're going to need to buy some buckets and squeegees and all that type of stuff, some ladders, right?
Right.
Maybe maybe we link you up with a good ladder company like Giant Ladder with Doug Wing. We'll promote Doug Wing and the
Little Giant. Yeah.
So before you know it, even a modest business like that, it's not a high tech or a high complicated business. Cleaning a window is not rocket science. Would you agree, Mark?
Oh, absolutely not.
But you still have to do the basic things in business, as your marketing, making contacts, building relationships to earn the right to have conversation, to deliver your service, and then deliver exemplary service is the key. What's the experience that's different from their current providers? So that's so important. And all that takes time, money, and resources. Make sure the business that you're looking at, number one, you know what your competition is doing. Can you get part of that market share to yourself by doing a better job, providing a better level of service, a better experience for the end user than their competitors? Find out what they're doing and do it better. find the things that are not doing that the consumer wants, and then fill that need. And you'll have a better chance to be successful in that business. But even like a landscape company, if you want to go mow lawns and trim people's bushes, before you even get your first contract, you've got a truck, a trailer, and a lawn machine, and weed whackers and blowers and all that stuff. You got minimum of $100,000 before you start up, and you got insurance costs, you got everything else, operational costs. Your things are going to break down. Do you have the resources to cover when a tire goes flat on your mowing machine? You only got one mowing machine. It goes down.
Right.
You're out of business that day, right? Do you have the money necessary to keep your assets up and running? So it's so important. So many different things that people don't think about. Oh, I'll just go get a truck, a trailer, and a lawnmower. I'm going to go out and start making money. And then they're not prepared for what business throws at us. And that could be everything economic to something breaks in the shop, right? So, and then you got to have employees. You can only mow one lawn at a time. So how do you double your income? Get 2 machines, 2 trucks, 2 employees. Now you got a whole different set of what? Issues, right?
Issues, yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to go into business. You can find anything, but your traditional business is very expensive. I can share that because my wife and I have had a traditional brick and mortar business for years. It just the leases will drive most people nuts. They really charge that much to lease a space? Yes. How do you do it? Good, prudent business decisions and planning. So with the other option that's out there, a lot of people look at is something, a business. If we look at any of these companies, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Subway, Chick-fil-A, what do we know about all these companies, Mark?
Well, you better have a few pennies just to get into the front door. You're disqualified.
Yeah, that's true. It's the economic situation.
Yeah, I mean,
these companies are very successful because they brought an exemplary product, a system to the marketplace, fill a need, and they're consistent at it. So if you go to one McDonald's, I can go to McDonald's in Peachtree Corners there. It's not going to be any different than the McDonald's here in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
Right.
I won't see any difference in taste. I won't see any difference in service. I won't see a difference in anything. These companies have been very systematically successful by creating a replicatable and duplicatable system. That's why they're so expensive. Let's look at the cost of what it takes. You're going to pay an annual franchise fee with McDonald's $45,000 a year. To get that franchise, you need $1 million to $2.2 million, and they're also going to get on a monthly basis 4% of your sales. So you can have the best location. Everything in business is about location, location, location. So you got the best location in your area. And so you're doing more dollars than any other McDonald's in the area. They're going to get 4% of your fortune and your luck and your planning. So they're going to get 4% off the top every month. You look at Taco Bell. Whether you like tacos or not, it's not the issue. Whether you like hamburgers or fries, it's not the issue. These businesses have created systems. They know this product will work in the marketplace, not just short-term, but long-term. And they've created systems that you're buying into, so you don't have to go out and recreate the wheel. So if you want to go out and create a sandwich shop and compete against your local Subway, I put my money on Subway all day long because everybody knows the quality of Subway. They're going to get the same experience every time they walk in. You create your own Subway, you better be doing something very different.
Right.
And keep those people back. Would you agree, Mark?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So franchises are good options. Biggest problem for most people.
Capital.
It's the capital necessary to get in. And then the income per franchise is not much. So if you invest $2 million into a franchise and your average annual income is $150,000 a year, that's a small ROI for the money you invested. Would you agree, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that people think, oh, gee, I got a franchise, I'm going to make hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
I know some people that own franchises, and they says it's one of the biggest nightmares they ever had because they still have employee problems. They have all these costs associated. that they didn't realize how much it took out, and they're putting all this effort in there. He says they were better off in their last job making $150,000 than having a franchise, making the same money, and they put everything that they own at risk, right? So risk is a
Right.
big problem. So franchises are proven business models to work at. But let's take a look at something. Network marketing over franchising. If you take a good, strong network marketing company and put it up against a franchise business model, guess what you'll find, Mark? They're exactly the same without the cost. A franchise has a product. They know the market need. They have a distribution. They have a way to get the product to market. Just all those things are put in place for you. Network marketing, a good network marketing has a product and or a service that's filling a need in the marketplace. Everything's in place without the expense of millions of dollars. So you can get a franchise quality opportunity for the average buy-in to a network marketing company is around $50 to $150, maybe some inventory. But where can you go into business today and have all those things equate to $1 million franchise structure for $50 and a little bit of product? But you better believe in the product you're selling, not just because it's another thing to sell. It's not another hula hoop or not another smart, right?
Yeah.
We saw those fads out there. And people that came with those innovative ideas made tons of money, but they're not sustainable. There is no long-term need for that, a hula hoop or a smart rock, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So when you look at it, network marketing, look at it as if you're looking to make an investment into a franchise and consider it as if you did put $1 million investment. Because you would show up every day if you had a franchise, right?
Oh, heck yeah. If I owned it.
Yeah. You're going to show up, right?
Yeah.
No matter what type of business. You better show up or you're out of business in a hurry. So let's talk a little bit about network marketing, direct sales. And this is something I learned the other day from this is what live streaming and does is you get you to introduce to people you'd never have talked to before. America is still the best place in the world to have a business. Top 10 direct selling markets in 2020 and 2021. United States, 42.6 billion. That's billion. Korea, look at some of these areas of the world where is Korea, then Germany, China, Japan, Malaysia, Brazil, Mexico, France, and Taiwan, China. If you're going to be in a business that you can tap into, be successful. These are successful companies operating it worldwide. Would it make sense that you have that same opportunity to be able to penetrate that market with a good quality company and product? And this is what I found out from a gentleman I know now, Tri Cole. He's from Vietnam. He says the greatest entrepreneurs coming up today and the next billionaires that are coming out of the world are coming from places such as Korea, Taiwan.
Oh, wow.
And the reason for it, they recognize the free enterprise system, they understand capitalism, and they're the most adaptable to network marketing. They understand the business model and they're willing to share how to market the message that they have around their company. So if you're building a network marketing, where do you find the right people that have that entrepreneurial spirit? The American people have lost it. It's the Asian market is where big economies are being grown today. Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, those areas of the world are accelerating in the network marketing place. So they see opportunity, they capitalize on it, and they recognize that network marketing is a viable business solution, especially in some of these other countries where they don't have the income per capita that we do have here in the States. So here's that same graph again, a little bit about how big network marketing is. United States, we still have the best economy there is. More people with discretionary income willing to buy products and services than any place in the world. But guess what? China's creeping up on us. Southeast Asia is creeping up on us. But so if I'm going to build a business, I'm going to seek out people that in these areas of the world that recognize true opportunity, and it'll help you build and leverage your marketing strategies with open-minded people. Mark, I always like to share the resources I use. I'm, my background, again, going back to my early career is financial service. I was involved in the early days of A.L. Williams. Today it's known as Primerica. Two things I saw with it. Number one, was a great need for financial education. And I didn't want to be broke like my parents who grew up in the Depression. They didn't have the right mentality about money and business and those type of things. I recognized that early on. So when I was introduced to financial services, I recognized there was such a great need. Even back in the 1983, when I went into financial services, Mark, less than 10% of the American people at that time had a net worth over $1 million. Today, it's the same. Nothing has changed. Why is it? People are ignorant on financial matters.
Right.
So I recognize if I can, and that has never changed. So there's a great market need. So I moved into that. The second thing I loved about it is that the product you sold, you do the work on the front end, you get paid every year afterwards for the work you did the first year on it. For example, Mark, I'm marketing to you for an investment product, maybe a mutual fund or your IRA or your 401k program or whatever the case may be. I got to do a lot of work to earn that right to get your business. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Here's a beautiful thing. Most business people do, they have to do the same effort over and over again every year to make the same money. In financial service, I saw immediately was the leverage of residual passive income. I worked my butt off to build a client base. And guess what? They continue to pay me every year for the next 30 some years for the work I did day one with them. So that's the power of, I saw that in the financial service sector with A.L. Williams. It was a network marketing company. Take your good message, find other people like-minded, bring them into your business. They'll go out and share, leverage the influence of dozens of people versus leveraging of just yourself. And you're going to get 1%. I'd rather have 1% of everybody's effort than 100% of my own efforts all day long. That's where wealth is built. When we look at people that are succeeding financially, they know that. How do you have residual income? You sell a product and or service once, but you get paid over and over again, year in and year out. Consumable, something that has to be renewed, something people have a strong desire, something you don't have to upsell to when you have a new product or development. They trust you. They recognize you brought them good value, and they will buy your new product line. So you have another way to increase your income with new offerings because you built that leverage with credibility and what you brought to them in the first place. So that's so important as well. So everything since that time has been a great learning experience. I was able to build an agency where I became a vice president of the company and build a pretty successful financial services agency with insurance, securities, mortgages, bank financing. And it wasn't because I was so much talented than anybody else, is that I just leveraged the system and leveraged somebody else's knowledge, and it got me where I needed to be. One of the best decisions I had ever made was joining the A.L. Williams organization, Art Williams. Great teacher, great business leader. And I always like to share, I'm the type of person, if I'm using something in my business that's helping me make my business easier and more profitable, I'm going to share it with you. So how do you make business? How do you go into business? You can do traditional brick and mortar standalone businesses, sell your product or service through brick and mortar, whatever the case may be, franchises. You got network marketing. We didn't even talk about affiliate. Affiliate marketing is nothing more, a different way to get paid for referring somebody's product or service. If I like a particular product like Be Connected, I'm going to share it with other business people. If they like it and subscribe to it, I get paid. And every month they do that, I get paid. And every time they share it with somebody else, I get paid again. That's a pretty good way to make money just through having a good, valuable product. So the money tools I use to generate residual income is the C is my number one. Number two, Be Connected. Number three, I use Dub Video. And number four, I use Pipedrive as my CRM system. And I use Mailbox Power, direct mail program that helps businesses market more effectively. I've used them, I had success, and I say, hey, Mark, I got something that would be important for you to look at if you want to expand your business. Are you open to take a look? Here's some information. If you like what you see, sign up. And if you do, I get paid. That's a great thing to do. So I just share resources that I use that help me become more profitable, make my business easier. So that if you go to that Linktree money tools I use, you'll see all the links in there to learn more about those entities I just talked about. And then there's a link, Linktree/4 Rivers. Everything is SIA. You want to learn everything about what this amazing product is doing for people's lives and health and finances, you can go there. And then if you'd like to talk to me specifically, there's my calendar link. You can schedule a time with me on my calendar. We'll do it here on a StreamYard, a Be Connected connection like we're doing here. So
That was good, Tom.
all right, Mark, there we go. Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, sure made all of us think. Made me think about a lot of different things that you're talking about. So, and I will ask, how do you feel? You okay?
Oh, I'm doing good. I've almost lost my voice, Mark.
Okay. How about pain? How are you doing with pain?
Don't ask me to walk. If I had to get up and walk around, you'd see I'm in pain. So don't ask me to walk. I'm sitting here, no problem. But putting pressure on that ankle.
Got it.
You hear this grown man scream like a little girl. So,
Oh my.
so
No, I thought what you shared with us tonight was excellent, as always. That's why I like hanging around people like yourself, just to get ideas and, keep my mind open and growing and developing.
what I'd like to do is we're talking about network marketing, and my primary gig and yours as well is the SIA and what it's doing. As our most recent player on our team, Benjamin Gate III.
Yes.
I'm going to put this out on the replay. You want to hear the story why Ben got back into network marketing. Great story. Here's a man that ran one of the largest makeup companies in the world back in the 60s called Holiday Magic. He's the last living person ever coached by Napoleon Hill. He didn't want a 25-year-old flush a $1 billion. It was valued in today's dollars well over $1 billion company.
Ben was ripping and roaring when he was 25 years downtown Atlanta, man. He was burning it up, man. Let me tell you.
He explained why he got back into the industry. He's been in the industry. He's never left it. He's always done consulting, training, and development in and around the network. Right. He knows it inside and out. He knows great companies, great structures, great compensation. So he looked at, we introduced it to him on the product side. And he said to me, I'm more interested than you realize. And I didn't get what he said. He was interested in the business. There's 4 things that when hell freezes over. It's the only way I'd get back into network marketing. He has nothing negative about network marketing, but he's been there, owned it. He's been at the top. He's been a world leader in that industry. So he knows the trials and tribulations of any business and network marketing. He said, if I don't own it, you got to have a product that no one else will have, can't be knockoff or can't be replicated or duplicated. It's making a difference in people's lives. Has a good compensation program. You get paid well for your efforts. And so he looked at all that. I introduced him to Tyler Norton, the CEO of ASEA.
Yeah.
They had great conversation. Mark, I wish you could have been there that day. It was phenomenal.
Well, I was there for part of it, but I had to move forward here. But yeah.
But recognizing strong leadership, people doing the business for the right reasons. Don't
Right.
get caught up in a hype about how much money, the silvery objects, I call the fancy cars and the boats and the houses and the vacation homes. Those things are all important. But the reality is, find that business you can attach yourself to. You don't ever have to walk back into the door of any of your friends or family based on what you do. Many times people get involved in network marketing. It tarnishes. You just want me to join something to buy something. And here, if you really look at a great company that's doing, making a difference in humanity, ASEA is it. There's no other company like it in the world in the health arena. And I encourage people to look at it. If you have that passion to help and serve, if you're concerned about anything about your health or anybody you love, you should definitely take a good hard look at what ASEA potentially can give. Myself or Mark a call. We'll give you all the resources, get your questions answered. We're an educational company more than just a product sales. We're not selling lipstick here. Everybody else has got lipstick for the pigs out there. We don't have any lipstick here at ASEA. So with that all said, Mark, anything else?
That's it, man. You, as I would say, being from Atlanta, you Hank Aaron'd it all over the place, which means you knocked it out of the park.
Hank Aaron'd it. I like that.
That's a Gassardism, but yeah, we can start something going here. Those in the West Coast about who the true home run king is. But anyway, yeah, you did a great job. And
thank you. I just encourage people out there. We all have desire to have more, or want more, desire more. Find the thing you have a passion for, something you can believe in, and not be afraid to share it out there. I have no hesitation whatsoever when I hear somebody talks about their loved one or their kids or themselves about their health. I don't hesitate at all. I said, here's some information that can make a big difference in that condition. Are you open to get the information? If they say yes, I'm going to share. And if you share from the right space, I don't have to convince anybody. All I do is convey a message.
Right.
And with ASEA, we're no longer in the validation. We are fully validated, one of the strongest sciences in the world, more books, more universities studying redox signaling molecules than anything else in the world. And so we know the technology is for real. I don't have to be a scientist, but I can lead you to all the scientists in the world if you need that information. So, but the most important thing, you got to trust that there are good companies out there with the right intention. And I'm glad I'm part of ASEA in a big way. So, and
the stuff works too.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier when we started, if I didn't have the gel the last couple of weeks with me, I couldn't have made it through it without making some other decisions about how I was going to deal with the pain. So, and the discomfort. So if you got any health concerns, reach out to us. We'll get you the information necessary, and we'll go from there. Mark, anything else? And you go dancing tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the last night for West Coast Swing. So I'm sure they'll make us feel like Kentucky Fried Idiots. I'll throw some more stuff in. It's always what you're talking about, doing these things. Some people don't and can't see themselves doing something of what you're doing here tonight, Tom. They struggle with it mentally. They're shackled, and there's no way I could do that, or there's no way I could share this, and I'm here to tell you, yeah, there is. And you always say it, you got to have a why. And once you find out the why, it's not a big deal.
No, not at all. You've been in sales a long time, Mark. I've been in sales since 1983.
Right.
I don't mean hundreds of thousands of no's.
It's better to get them on the front end, though, as opposed to, hey, thank you, I'm not interested. Great. But, I think that's what, for some, they struggle with, that word no. And that's just part of life.
Yeah.
Hey, last night, if you would have asked Jalen Hurts, which I was hoping the Eagles would win, are you happy with the outcome? No, absolutely not. And if you watched any of his interview, which I did, he pretty much said, I need to get better and develop, and he didn't whine about it. What happened happened. If you don't win, you learn. That's kind of what he said. Not lose, but learn. You learn from it, and then you move on.
And hopefully when you win, you learn
Sure.
humility and some other things necessary to keep the success going. So,
Yep.
love sports are great testimonials of what it takes to win in life and in business. So,
Right.
there's no difference. Winning is winning. Just to terms, what field are you looking at? Are you looking at the baseball field, football field, basketball court, or the field of life? It takes the same level of intensity and focus and belief to have success in any of those arenas that you desire. So be clear what you want, your purpose and why, and then go find that thing that'll support it. And network marketing may be one of those avenues where you can. Let me share with you. What would you rather have, Mark, today? $2,500 a month cash flow coming every month the rest of your life and never have to worry about it, or $1 million in a hard check right now?
$2,500.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take $1 million and go buy a $300,000 home, a couple of cars, and before you know it, you're broke, right? And you're
Right.
back to the same place.
Right.
So it's about building an asset. The key to wealth building is an asset that builds residual passive income that never stops. It works while you sleep. That's an exciting opportunity. If it took you 12 months to 36 months to do that, would it be worth it? Absolutely. What did you have to risk? Nothing but your effort and your time.
Right.
You didn't have to put $1.2 million up to get a franchise to show up for a job every day that pays $150,000 a year. So network marketing has made more financially independent people than any other industry out there. And when I say financially independent, it's not the person that's making millions of dollars. It's produced more millionaires, network marketing, than any one place in business, network marketing. You can look that up. It's not a Tom Gim hype. But financial independence is really about, and financial freedom is knowing day to day, month to month, you don't have to worry about your money. You can go to sleep at night knowing next week you get paid again for the work you did yesterday or last year or 2 years ago.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing about passive residual income. The wealthiest people, the average millionaire that's out there, has 5 sources of income, passive income. It could be through their investment, their real estate investment, but it's all passive income they're getting. And it's the passive income determines an asset value. So if you're making $2,500 a month on any business, it can be equated to $1 million asset with the right financial advice, how to calculate market value of your business or an asset value. Because dollars is what drives businesses. The businesses that have continual cash flow, regular cash flow, can be valuated, and they're the ones that have the highest valuation. So in the last 2 years, I built myself nearly $1 million asset in the last 2 years. So, and I encourage anybody out there who wants to join this team, we can show you how to do the same thing. And I just ask yourself, would an extra $500 to $2,000 a month or more make a difference in your life? Are you willing to do the work necessary to have that type of freedom and a surety of financial security? So glad to share that with anybody, the product and the opportunity. So, Mark, let's wrap it up, my friend. You're going to go out.
Right.
Just saying dancing hurts my foot, let alone.
Yeah, if you were there. Laura is away. She's in the weight room. There's somebody in the weight room.
Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi there. Just a sec. I shut your air off.
You're with Mark Gassert and myself on Elevate Your Profits. We just
How you
wrapped
doing
up.
there, Laura? We just kind of finishing up. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed out on the time difference.
aha.
So you're just finishing. I'm hoping it was a good event.
Well, we gave it, so we're going to be biased. Yes, it was. So
Yeah, it was tremendous. It was a tremendous event.
Laura's
Is it-
part of.
Will you record it?
Laura's- Pardon me?
Tom, did you
Are you
record
going
this?
to post the recording?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be up
Oh,
on my Facebook. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll shoot it out to you.
Wonderful.
Laura's also part of one of our sponsor companies, Be Connected.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, she's part of the VIP elite team, and
oh
we want to
wow.
make a difference on how businesses are doing business with this platform. So we were talking about network marketing and multiple streams of income, and why it's important to what are your options out there to create wealth. And I think network marketing, affiliate marketing are two of the best ways to do it. From my humble
I'm
opinion.
sure it was a great presentation. I look forward to listening to the recordings.
Right.
Anything you'd like to say about Be Connected, seeing how we got you on?
Oh, I've drank the Kool-Aid, so I love it. I really do. It's exciting to be part of something that is just on the cutting edge of exploding. They've done so much work, and I've done as a certified financial planner for 25 years. We all know how some of the technology stocks have taken off over the years. And
Sure.
I said to myself, like, if we had knowing what we know now, if you had a chance to be in on the ground floor of a new technology company, would you be interested? Yeah. Certainly am.
Yeah, it's Phil and Mark. We were talking about all those things, being in the right place at the right time. Are we an innovator, or are we early adapters? We're early adapters. That's where money's made
Yeah.
in any
Mhm.
business community, whether it be tech industry, whether it be nutrition industry, real estate. Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
So So thanks for jumping on, Laura. And I'll shoot you. I'll send you a message to you on Facebook on this replay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Mark, have you seen this? Is this your first time seeing this platform?
Oh no.
No,
You mean
no, you've
Be
got
Connected?
lots.
Yeah. No, it's a good.
He's an
tool.
affiliate. He's also VIP bonus team is a member as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. 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 Looking forward to it.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Laura, we'll have to get you on here and we'll talk business. Elevate Your Profits is something Mark and I have been doing. How long
Yeah.
now? Mark?
Oh, I would love that. I'm just collaborating with somebody, and we're calling our company More Value Now, adding more value to the customers. And it's we're promoting to businesses, showing them how to really rearrange some things in their business. Sometimes it makes all the difference in the world on how the business is set up, of their profits being, sometimes it's not having to cut a whole bunch of things. It's rearranging how your business was set up in the first place. And anyway, I'm super excited that Conrad Bram is our co-leader with this group. And anyway, really excited to be part of it. And maybe I'll bring him on over.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll shoot you a link and invite you on Elevate Your Profits. And the whole platform is designed to help that person maybe desiring to go into business, already a solopreneur, an entrepreneur. We've interviewed dozens of people that are very significant influencers in business, giving people what it takes to win in business.
Right.
It could be systems, but it could be everything from the mindset, and all the things in between are so important to see what
I
it's
just love it. I thank you so much, Tom.
Okay.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, all right, we're going to sign
Nice
out.
meeting you, Laura. All right.
Take care. I go by Laura Lee, actually.
Okay. Sorry, Laura
That's
Lee.
okay. That's all right.
We're going to
We'll
shut
get
it
to know
down.
one another.
We're going to shut it down with an exit here.